Hi everyone, I'm Angel.
And I'm Jordan.
And this time we made an interview about culture differences and some questions to international students.
Yeah, so we went around and we found some of our friends and other students on campus just to see their thoughts about being here.
Yeah, and some of them are our classmates and our friends. Yeah. So let's go, Jordan.
What do you like about your culture?
I like my culture. One of the reasons is because it's enormous. That the land is enormous. Then a lot of people live here. A lot of people from different ethics, and they have different living styles. So we have a chance to explore people different from you, though we are all Chinese. So my goal is to travel all provinces and possibly all valleys in China, because that way I can explore the home face of China. And also, since places are varied, people are varied, cultures and traditions and customs are varied. So I think this is a very mysterious part.
So what I really value about being American is that we're a very diverse country with a lot of different viewpoints. And so what that means is everyone's definition of American is different. And so everyone kind of takes something different away from it. And it's a very personal experience.
So the most thing I love about my culture or my country is the abundant food. The abundant, delicious food is especially the hot pot in my hometown, Chongqing. Yeah.
And what I like my culture is I think it's a really inclusive and dynamic cultures, because Chinese history is very long, and there are many times there are other ethnic groups try to establish regime in China, but they gradually adapt to Chinese way of life and learn how to contribute to the Chinese culture, which lead to a really inclusive and dynamic culture. Yeah.
My favorite thing, so I'm from Midwest America, so Iowa in particular, and one of the things that I miss and I really like about the culture is how polite people generally are, out on the streets. And so I have been used to kind of smiling at people and kind of giving a nice head nod or greetings to a lot of people, and that happens a little bit here, but it's not as common, and I think people are confused when I do it in public, but that's just the general politeness.
What's the biggest difference you think international students will face when they come to China?
The biggest difference when it comes to China, I think they will experience the way that people think the culture there. I think the way that students react to class in academia is very different from international students and Chinese students, and sometimes we may feel strange. And also the way they react to local people, they react to authorities might be different from the way they do in their own country. So I think this could be a big challenge.
So for me, it's been really tough to adjust to having everything on my phone. It's really convenient, but it's definitely something that I think Chinese people are used to, and maybe people from outside the country aren't. So it's been a struggle, but I'm getting there.
I think maybe language could count as one. The different language will block our communication, and maybe the international students will feel lonely or something like that. Yeah.
And also I think Chinese culture is relatively high context. There are usually a lot of meaning behind these cultures, and Chinese people are often used to express things in a more implicitly way, but some international students, they may prefer explicitly expressing their feelings, so that might be a difference. Yeah.
The shock when I came here was how often people on the streets would stare at me. I'm not used to that kind of attention, and it feels a bit odd being so standout different. And I would have little kids come up to me, right up next to me, and just stare until their parent would pull them away. And I've had strangers come up to me to like take a picture with their children, and that's a bit strange. I don't think I am like ugly or anything, but I don't think I'm like that attractive that strangers on the streets need to come and look at me and like stare at me while I walk past. But I guess I've gotten used to it a little bit, so that's definitely was a bit shocking.
If you could ask any international student one question, what would it be?
My question would be, what brought you to China? What makes you to fall in love to China? Because I think it's difficult for me to go into a totally strange nation to me, because it takes courage. So I think there should be something that in China that attracts them most. So I wonder what the point is.
Yeah, it'd probably be what books they'd recommend me read to learn more about China and Chinese culture. I'm really into ancient stuff. I've read the Three Kingdoms, so any other recommendations would be great.
I want to ask, what do you expect to learn in China, and through your learning and communicate with Chinese students, and how will it benefit your future when you come back to your own country?
Yeah, so I just have one simple question. So why would international students choose to come to China or choose DKU as their university?
Yeah, the question I think I would ask is, where do you think your country, you're hoping would improve? Something that would get better?